This might be the best rank 4 deck in the game now. What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my updated Exosister combo video. I am a huge fan of this deck. It's actually crazy. The new support was ridiculously broken as well. We got Malfa and Lithuania. Yes, exactly. So I will be showing you guys a lot of combos featuring these new cards and how to properly play this deck in order to maximize your advantage and also not use like 10 billion cards to combo off, so you can play a lot of hand traps and other kind of utility cards as well. So before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch and Instagram. Both links will always be in the description box below. And let's jump right into combo numero uno, which is not much of a massive combo because I'm only using one card, but I'm showing you the flow of execution and how you can really play and go far with one single card without relying on anything else. So you could literally have Malfa and 4 hand traps, and you're going to stun your opponent to death with your hand traps, and with your 1-card starter, you're generating advantage over time, and you're killing your opponent on your turn 3, well, on your second turn, which is turn 3 of the game. So you'll be going effect of Malfa in the hand. So it's a little similar to the Windwitch monsters, how they don't, well, rather the Snowbell. I forgot the broken level 3 one that summons itself, and also summons the level 4, like in the same effect, so resolves in the hand. Again, exactly the same as the Virtual World monsters. So you special summon it, and then you also summon Elise from the deck, but it doesn't lose to Effect Veiler because, like I said, it's all part of the same effect to summon itself from the hand. So if your opponent ashes this, he's a loser because you keep the Malfa in the hand, and you can just do it again next turn. So your opponent went neg1, just to like make you lose a little bit of tempo, but not actual card advantage. Now you are locked under only being able to special summon Exosister monsters the turn you use this effect, but it's not the end of the world because there are still a lot of plays that we can do even then. And honestly, the Exosister monsters have very good trigger effects on the field, where when your opponent... are they trigger effects? Yeah, they are. They need a specific condition to activate. So when your opponent moves out a card from the graveyard, you can transform one of the Exosister monsters directly into an Xyz, and the turn they are summoned, they have really broken effects. And of course, on your own turn, you can detach material and do some pretty nice stuff. But we are not going to be doing that right now because it is our turn 1 and our opponent is not trying to DD Crow us or something. So now we are going into Caspitel, which is the rank 4 that searches a monster by detaching material. So we're searching the Sophia, which is a draw 1, while you control another Exosister monster on the field. So that's exactly what we are going to be doing. If we get unlucky and we don't draw like an Exosister extender, we can't really play too much, but we can still pass on this. And depending on what our opponent does, we might be able to capitalize and completely destroy him. So Foolish Barrel Goods into Metal Fist Fusion is like the worst case scenario right here for my opponent because it will trigger the Sophia so I can summon Michaelis. And that's a pretty nasty interruption. So just like that, it's basically like a reactive Zodiac deck. You get to make Michaelis, which is an interruption. So on our opponent's turn, we are going to be banishing a card our opponent controls. And now that our opponent is passing, again, assuming that your hand traps were able to do a little bit of the job for you, you have a guaranteed OTK just with the cards that you currently have. So Caspitel is going to be searching another Malfa. Michaelis can search any spell or trap, but you already have game just with these cards, so searching a spell or trap doesn't even matter at this point. And you're going to be summoning the Elise from the deck with the effect of Malfa again. It only summons Elise, by the way, it doesn't summon anything else, so that's the reason why I didn't go for Sophia to draw a card before. That would have been like a little too broken if it was a special summon from deck and draw 1, but whatever. Now we are going into Gibrin, which detaches the material so that all the Xyz monsters for the rest of the turn gain 800 attack, not necessarily the ones you control, and that's lingering. So even if I summon an Exosister monster after, it will immediately start with the 800 attack boost. So that is exactly what we are going to be doing, detach, and then they all gain 800. And we are making Magnifica, which is actually infinitely better than Utopic Future Draco. You don't even want to play that card, well, that package rather. It's 2 cards in this deck, because this is like a double interruption, whereas Utopic Draco Future only negates once per turn. This banishes a card your opponent controls without targeting, just by detaching material, which is already ridiculously overpowered. But on top of that, as an added bonus, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can return 1 Xyz monster attached to this card that you own to the extra deck. Then you can special summon that monster from your extra deck using this face-up card you control as the Xyz material. And the crazy part about this is that it's not once per turn, so if your opponent goes Chain Forbidden Chalice, you can chain this card again, and then your opponent goes Chain Forbidden Chalice again, chain Ghost Ogre, chain again. So basically this card is unnegatable in a way. Anyways, attack for 7,200, that's a lot of damage, man. A monster with 36 that can attack twice, absolute violence. And then 33 to the dome with the Michaelis. Congratulations, you are now dead. That's it for combo number 1. Let's get into combo number 2 now. Alright, so now I really want to showcase you guys the sheer power of this deck and how you can interrupt your opponent like there is no freaking tomorrow. So it doesn't matter whether you're playing against combo decks or control decks or whatever, because of the fact that your interruptions are quick effect banishing that sometimes don't even target, the deck literally has a very good time going first against pretty much anyone. So your only kind of drawback would be getting hit by Nibiru. There's practically nothing that you can do about it, unless you're playing the continuous spell card, which I don't recommend. It's kind of like a prohibition, but you're going to have to go RNG. And if your opponent doesn't have Nibiru and you call Nibiru with prohibition, well, you kind of look like an idiot because that's a neg 1. So anyways, now we have Stella and Pax. Shoutouts to Pac. So with this kind of hand, you can actually do so much. You're going to be searching the Malfa, I was going to say Melfi, goddamn. Summon the Elise from your deck, and now you're going to be making the Caspatel so you can search the Sophia. We didn't want to use our normal summon on Stella before, but now I guess you can do that. Whatever, it doesn't really change that much. Summoning the Sophia and then draw one card with the Sophia, of course. And now you're going to be making Michaelis. It doesn't matter what we draw. It won't even be used, actually. So you're going to be searching the Litania. Okay, yes, okay, now I get it. Litania. Broken card, by the way. I will soon explain the effect. And now make Magnifica, which is indeed magnificent. And you will be setting whatever you have past turn. Our opponent goes Extravagance, draw cards. He's playing Eldritch, bro. You think I care? You think any of your cards are going to resolve? You're cute. So this is very important, and I will explain it. When my opponent uses the effect of Cursed Outland, I'm not actually chaining the effect to banish the Cursed Outland, but rather I'm chaining the second effect, which is the reactive one, where I can return back a monster that is underneath to the extra deck, and then Xyz summon it on top of Magnifica. So I'm returning back the Michaelis to the extra deck. It's not a cost, by the way. And then I'm going to be summoning on top of Magnifica, but I'm also chaining to my own Magnifica the other effect, detach material and banish a card my opponent controls. So that's exactly what's going on. I just banished the Cursed Outland while it is trying to activate, and, well, trying to resolve, rather, or the effect trying to activate. And now I just summoned Michaelis, which has the effect to banish a card my opponent controls the turn it was Xyz summoned using an Exosister monster as material, which is exactly the case. So I already banished one card. I'm about to be banishing a second card with the effect of Michaelis. This time it does target. And now I have more banishes because I have the Litania. So if all monsters you control are Exosister monsters, minimum 1, pay 800 life points, feels very great. Then target one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, banish it, then you can apply one of these effects. The first one is immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon one Exosister Xyz monsters using monsters you control. That does not really interest us at the moment. The second effect is if you Xyz summon previously this turn, banish one card your opponent controls, doesn't target again. Oh my god, so we go banish and then banish, just like that. Just like that, you're able to banish 4 cards your opponent controls, and the draw from Sophia, the packs, never mattered. So it doesn't, who cares what you have, what you manage to draw? You're going to be OTKing your opponent anyways. So now I'm just going to be assuming that maybe I drew something that doesn't matter. I can just search the packs with the thingy, the Michaelis on my own turn, and now I'll be searching the Malfa. I'll be making the Gibrine, so all my monsters get 800. My opponent has exactly 72 because of the Cursed Outland, and turns out 36 multiplied by 2 is exactly game. Merry Christmas, you are dead. That's it for combo number 2. Let's get into combo number 3 now. This combo is also very, very, very insane because you have a follow-up. So that's the really important part about this deck. You search and you recur back a lot of resources. You always have gas, I want to say, because one single Exosister monster that manages to trigger doesn't really make you lose a lot, but it makes your opponent lose a lot because you're going to be able to banish cards and then apply more pressure by searching cards, all of that just with one single card, and you get to play hand traps on top of that, which is really unique. But when you have cards like Zora getting you access to the Magistus Link 1 so you can search another Zora, you always have a grind game. So I will be showing the combo right now. You're going to go Pax or just if you hard drew the Malfa, you can special summon the Malfa and then summon the Elise, and you're going to be making Michaelis this time and not the Caspatel. This is completely different. The reason why you're doing that is because you really want to bait a Veiler on the Michaelis and not on the Zora. The Zora resolving is more important than the Michaelis resolving because the top priority right now is making the Magnifica, because that's actually game when you summon it. It's double banishing. Anyways, you're going to be going Zora, equip itself with the Artemis, and then revive back a monster from your graveyard. So, what the heck? That's broken. It's a Monster Reborn and a Searcher for another Monster Reborn that will probably destroy a spell or trap next turn because there is another Majestus monster in the extra deck that does that. And now we're going to be going for the Caspatel detached to search a monster. It doesn't even matter because it's just going to be a card for a follow-up. And now we're making Magnifica. So this is ridiculous, man. I have a double interruption on the field with a trap card that can double banish. So I have 4 interruptions. And on top of that, the cards that I used to start my combo, I get them back. This is crazy. My opening hand was literally Zora and Malfa. And now I have 4 interruptions with Zora and Malfa. So it's just back to square one. You can always play with your resources because you're getting your money back while destroying your opponent. And that's the reason why I'm saying that this deck is probably very good and is going into a very beautiful direction, because with 2 cards it gets to play very well, generate advantage, interrupt. But on top of that, like I said, you get to play just more utility cards. If you want board breaking cards or like floodgates or hand traps, whatever, you can afford to do that because 2 cards is probably all you need to combo. So that's it for this combo. Let's get into the next one. Okay, so this combo is very gimmicky, and just by looking on my hand, you probably understand what I'm going to be doing, but it is ridiculously overpowered. So if you really want to play a card like Temple of the Kings, technically you could. There are a lot of combos with Temple of the Kings, and this is one of the very few decks that can kind of abuse this card in a way, to be honest. So if you have Temple of the Kings with Vadis, you literally immediately win the game. So you activate it and then set your Vadis and use it. So it's kind of like a Shade Brigandine because you can use 1 trap card the turn it was set if you have Temple of the Kings. You are summoning the Sophia and the Irin, and you're going to be drawing with the Sophia. And of course, we didn't use our normal summon yet, so now we are going to be making, well, going for the Caspatel, search the Malfa, and then trigger its effect to summon the Elise from the deck. Make Michaelis, detach, and then search a spell or trap. And we're able to go on the Magnifica, well, end on Magnifica with the Litania and a hand trap without using our normal summon. So this is how you get, I guess, access to more extenders. But Temple of the Kings is a weird card. So this is one of the few plays that you can do that is very broken. If you want to play more access cards to Vadis, you can, I guess, play Trap Trick. But the card is easily searchable with the Michaelis because this card can search any of your Exosister spell and traps. So if you can just make one single rank 4 and then search the Vadis and you hard drew Temple of the Kings, that gets you another rank 4 on the field. And then you can actually make another rank 4 with the Malfa, but whatever. The world is absolutely your oyster, and on top of that, you have a draw. Oh my, this deck is so freaking sick. Alright, let's go into the 5th and final combo now. Okay, if I didn't manage to convince you to like and subscribe to my channel, make sure you do because I would really appreciate that a lot. And of course, it's Majestus. Sorry, no, it's not. Actually, I guess it is Majestus, but it is Exosister. So it's such a sick deck that it is impossible not to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much in advance. I freaking love you. Anyways, this is the final combo, which again isn't really a combo, but it's the kind of play that you do when you're like in a pretty shitty situation. So literally Zora and any Exosister in the game could even be in your graveyard. So you could have 0 cards in hand, just Zora, and you're going to be able to end on a gigantic board. It's just ridiculous. Like the fact that all of that from like, one single monster allows you to play this so far. Like, get a card that is a 1-card rank 4, and the rank 4 searches a spell or trap that banishes your opponent cards. My god, man, this never gets old. And again, the Zora refunds its money back by searching another Zora, which is a Monster Reborn the second time, because that time you're going to have a card in the graveyard, whereas turn 1, you didn't have a card in the graveyard, of course. You only have cards in the hand, so that's the reason why you're trying to play more copies of the Exosister monsters, and you get to play less extenders like the, goddamn, I forgot their name, like the Ran Ryu and the weird yeah, whatever, they have like weird names, but they all have like, I think 1500 attack and 200 defense. They belong to like the same category of monsters where like if you control one spellcaster, you can summon them, you can only control one. Gigabyte is another one of those ones, and the Nefarious something, and the Inari Firefox. whatever. Anyways, you're going to now make it Magnifica, set a bunch of cards, and your opponent is going to be terrified because you have, how many interruptions is that? 2 interruptions. Well, this is like 2 interruptions at once, so I'm just going to say like 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 interruptions and a lethal follow-up next turn. So this deck is absolutely sick. Alright, that's pretty much all I had to say and showcase for this combo video. Let me know how you guys actually think about this deck, by the way, in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as I keep on repeating, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.